in terms of making our life miserable. Ugh. This is not what I wanted to see in the opening hand against Spellsword. Much rather draw that later. Ugh.
There's a plan. There's always a plan.
Alright. Ice Storm probably saves us a bit. Just met the same guys on ladder previously? You mean like you just played that same guy? Because if that is what you mean, dude has a quality deck. Mammoth, huh?
Can't you see I'm
Let's see what this gets us first. Alright. Because if that got us like a lightning bolt or something.
My friend would like to say hello.
Prison's not worth saving for health, and it gives us a peddler trigger later, so... You know, if he's playing Spellsword Control, it certainly doesn't look that way, starting with Bruma and Mammoth. Sure seems like just normal Spellsword mid-range BS. We're going to dive him in there anyway, just because if he does have like a Javelin here, Ice Storm will later kill him now that he's down to 3 health. Not that I would waste an Ice Storm on just him, but just thinking ahead, kind of forward. Also, Ashlander if it triggers. I'm really concerned about the health lead because of Golden Saint for obvious reasons, but... Again, like at all times when you play this deck, you're just not going to have the health lead early unless something goes horribly wrong for the opponent, so you're kind of at the mercy of those cards. He's thinking, wow, alright. Is he wanting me to commit to the board now? I'm not sure that I understand. Sure?
Your destruction is at hand.
Kind of sucks that he's in Spellsword just because that means he's likely got the priests. So he's going to have an answer for the Mages Guild retreat. It's like the only control matchup that has a direct answer.
Outlander.
Let's see if he's got a priest in hand. I mean, we'll fish it out. If he doesn't have one, then this thing will ultimately generate so much value for us that I think it's worth it to do to turn early. If he does have the priest, then... Or the edict, right? Sure. Then we ate a quality card.
Die, Outlander.
I mean, I guess we'll just slowly bleed him to death. I don't want to commit more to the board because he might have Dawn's Wrath or Immolating Blast or something, so...
The sweeter the victory.
So the guild card is, at the end of each turn, if you play 2 actions, summon a random Atronach. So it's like a peddler, but on steroids. Instead of drawing a card, you just get free dudes. Like, all day.
Die, Outlander.
Alright, I guess we continue the slow bleed. And how do we want to deal with this? How do we want to deal with that? How do we want to deal with that? I mean, I don't really think that he's worth a Javelin, but if we Peddler, Javelin, and Imprison, then we could draw a card and we'll have Peddler on the board. The alternative would be Hive Defender, but that sets us up for Immolating Blast. Yeah, I think Hive Defender's still safer, though. I think it's safer because it requires him to use one of his good removal spells to go through it. And if he doesn't go through it, then it allows us to keep this slow bleed moving. I have to assume he's running healing potions, right? So even though he's down to 11, I don't suspect there's well, actually, I'm alright with cracking this last rune. It was the last chance at prophecy, so at least now we don't have to worry about him anymore, right? There's the potion where we knew that was going to be there, right? So, is it worth the Imprison there just to draw a card off the Peddler, or we could play Schemer, which lets us draw a card anyway, keeping the Peddler and the potential Imprison. I think we play the Schemer because it's the more aggressive option and still lets us draw. Right? Yeah, Human. I really like the Guild Retreat. It doesn't get a lot of play because it costs 7 and it doesn't impact the board directly. So it really needs to be played in a control deck like this for you to like even get value at all from it. But it's really good in mirror control matchups.
Die, Outlander.
Alright, so kind of the same boat again. Could Peddler and Imprison to draw a card. Or Schemer. Still think it's probably Schemer. Probably here. He's gonna maybe Dawn's Wrath. But if he Dawn's Wrath and doesn't have a heal, we've got a shot at lethal because we do have the Crushing Blow and the chance for Ashlander to go face, right? And if it doesn't go face, then it takes that out, and it's still kind of a win-win for us, so... Yeah, I've been seeing a lot more Spellsword too. Surprisingly, a lot of Sorcerer. Like, it's like people woke up one day and they just were like, hey, let's try that Sorcerer thing out. Which I'm not against.
Die, Outlander.
Oh, if it went face, then we had a victory. But it did not go face. Let's see what this gets us.
Like to say hello.
2, 7, 8, 9. Yeah. So I think what we do here now is we Peddler. We Atronach. We heal and we Imprison. That lets us draw off the peddler. Again, we really only need to do a minimal amount of damage to force it through. Yeah, and see, that's victory.